RMC Fatigue is a new phenomenon that is taking the coaster community by storm. It is a movement among enthusiasts who realize that many of RMC's ejector and sideways moments are actually unpleasant. Why is this happening? Well, in today's video, I'll be taking a deep dive into why RMC is beginning to fall out of favor with the coaster community and what this means for the theme park industry as a whole. I will not just be analyzing RMC, but also if the entire opinion of what makes a roller coaster good is beginning to change. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Let's dive in. RMC, or Rocky Mountain Construction, was hired by Six Flags over Texas in 2012 to build the world's first hybrid coaster, the new Texas Giant. RMC introduced the revolutionary concept of adding new steel track to old wooden roller coasters to make them way more smooth and allow for the addition of steep drops, overbanks, and even inversions. The enthusiast community went nuts, and many old wooden roller coasters were transformed into steel hybrids. I think we can all agree that every single RMC conversion is better than the wooden coaster it was built off of. RMC conversions are relatively inexpensive, at least for a new roller coaster, so they popped up at parks everywhere. Everyone's top 10 were filled with RMCs, and Steel Vengeance was praised as the best roller coaster in the world. I'm not saying all these rides are not good, or Steel Vengeance is not getting praise anymore, because of course these are all fantastic rides that deserve a fair share of praise. I think this RMC fatigue phenomenon became a thing after everyone and their brother seemed to have Steel Vengeance as their number one coaster. YouTubers are a massive part of the community, and Coaster Studios is one of the best, and also the most influential. After watching his reaction and review to Steel Vengeance, I know I had to ride it, because I never heard him praise a coaster like this, ever, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Whether it was Coaster Studios or Airtime Thrills, everyone knew that Steel Vengeance was something special. And then everyone got to ride it. All of these reviews were early in the 2018 season, and many people hadn't made it out to Cedar Point to ride Steel Vengeance. The hype for this thing was out of this world, and many people thought it was going to be heaven on earth and do things that roller coasters can't even do. And of course, it didn't. While an undeniably fantastic ride, Steel Vengeance is not my number one, and I know many other people are beginning to express my feelings. Steel Vengeance showed us that airtime can only be so good until it gets uncomfortable. I think this is the reason for the RMC fatigue scene nowadays. People are realizing that many of their elements and a lot of ejector airtime in general is less fun and more uncomfortable. I have to agree. My home park RMC Twisted Colossus is fantastic with an amazing first drops and an incredible zero-G stall. And that's about it. I'm not saying I don't enjoy the rest of the ride, because I do. Just it cannot be a pleasant experience. The high five on the green side is especially unpleasant, and the blue outer bank going into the green left hill is also uncomfortable. These are violent moments of negative G's that are launching you out of the train sideways into a hard lap bar. Of course it's uncomfortable. The outer bank on Steve is sure one of the strongest moments of airtime ever, but is that really a good thing? I found it uncomfortable and would much rather stick to the natural airtime on, say, Maverick. People are beginning to find out that the weird twisting ejector sideways moments of RMC airtime are not fun. I have to say, I do not enjoy outer bank turns especially, and they're only popping up now because people smartly used to think that turning left and banking to the right is a bad idea, because it is. I also want to take a moment to talk about airtime as a whole. Call me a GP, but I will eat floater airtime for breakfast. It's amazing just effortlessly floating out of your seat. Ejector airtime is a little less enjoyable. I love the blue hill under the stall on Twisted Colossus, but I don't love rapid moments of ejector airtime, like a double down, that launch you into the lap bar. RMC aside, Magnum XL200 is so unpleasant. Like, why do people like this thing? It takes the uncomfortable parts of RMC and multiplies it by 10. Skinny metal lap bars that will bruise your midsection. Check. Uncomfortable janky moments of sideways airtime in weird bumpy valleys. Check. A final run of triangular shaped hills that will eject you into your lap bar at full speed, that provides no enjoyment at all, but rather pain. Check. Okay, enough magnating, but this thing is so overrated. People love the final run of Insane Ejector, but I don't think even this is fun. More or stronger airtime is not always a good thing. I think airtime will be like inversions. It won't be the big thing anymore. Hopefully new coasters focus more on unique inversions and speed, with occasional strong airtime moments. Velocicoaster is just like this, and with many people having this as their number one, hopefully this becomes the new way of coasters in the future. Do you find some RMCs unpleasant? Please let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.